All right, so in lesson 2, we're going to look at while loops again, but now we're going to look at them in a slightly different way. So again, it's while loops again, same 3 learning targets. You can understand the concept of an iteration. All an iteration is how many times that loop runs. You're going to write a while loop in Python, and then you're going to trace through a while loop and track the values of variables in Python. So that's where we're headed today. So here, what we're going to look at today are called user-controlled loops, and these are loops where the user input controls how many times the while loop will loop. So the ones we did in the previous lesson, we controlled. We told the computer exactly how y was going to change, what the ending value was going to be, what the starting value was going to be, and we chose as the programmer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to give our user the opportunity to choose, and this is really where while loops are nice because the user can choose to keep going with the program or to end the program depending on the values that they have entered. So what we're going to do is we're going to write a program together that asks the user to input 2 numbers, a lowest number and a highest number, and our program will calculate the sum of all of the numbers between these 2, including the first number, the lowest, and the highest, and it will then output that sum to the user. So what I need you to do is open up Python and open up a new program so that we can start programming together. So we're going to save this as, Computer Science Projects, Unit 4. So we're going to do Unit 4, Lesson 2, and this one we're going to do sum with lowest and highest. Okay, so I've now saved my program. I want to add a comment at the top. Unit 4, Lesson 2, user enters in lowest and highest. Program calculates the sum between 2. So that's what's going to happen in our particular program. So just putting a little note at the top so we remember its purpose. So where we're going to start with this program is we're going to print to the screen the program's purpose. Or you can view this as your welcome message when you type your own program. So here we're going to print to the screen, this program will find the sum between 2. That's what our program is going to do. And this is where we're going to get the user input. So user enters lowest number and highest number. So we have low number. We're going to ask them to enter that in. So please enter in the lowest number. Being very specific so they know which number I want first and which number I want second. Please enter in the highest number. And then I want to calculate the sum between them. So I'm going to set the sum equal to 0. And it might be good to put a comment next to this. It's going to calculate running sum between the 2 numbers. So really the purpose of this value is to track it for me as it goes. As I go from the lowest number to the highest number, I want to continuously be adding that on. So here's where my while loop is going to come into play. And so here I have while my low number is less than or equal to my high number. So this is how I'm setting up my program. There are multiple ways to do it. My thought process behind this is I'm going to go from lowest to highest, adding to the sum each time. That's what I'm going to do. It's up to you. There are multiple ways to do this. As I said, that's just the way that I'm choosing to do it. So here I have while low is less than or equal to high. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sum and I'm going to add my low number to it. Now notice how I'm doing sum plus low number here. I'm doing that for a reason. I'm doing that because I want to take my current sum, whatever it is. I know it's 0 now, but this will be sum plus my low number. And then what will come through is it'll go through again, and now sum will already be holding sum plus my first low number, and now it's going to add on the second lowest number, and the third lowest number, and the fourth lowest number. Now, if you really want to see what's happening to the screen, you can print to the screen what your low number is as you go. So this will allow you to see the low number as the program runs, if you'd like to see that. So it's going to take the low number, print it to the screen, add it to the sum, and it's then going to, if you'd like to see it print the sum to the screen as well, you can do that. So it'll print the low number and the current sum, and then what it's going to do is it's going to take the low number and it's going to add 1 to it each time. So it's going to go from the low number and it's going to keep running until it equals the high number, and then when it goes one number higher than the high number, it's going to stop. Now at the very end, I'm going to print a blank line just so we can see it a little more clearly, and then print the sum between your two numbers is, then I'm going to print my sum to the screen. Now if we run this, and I'm going to move that over there so we can run it both on the screen. So it says this program will find the sum between two numbers. Please enter in your lowest number. So probably could have made this look a little nicer, but let's say our lowest number is 10 and our highest number is 17. So what's happening here is, remember, this is printing the low number to the screen. The low number is currently 10. My sum was 0 plus 10. Low number is now 11, so this became 21. Low number is now 12, so we added it, became 33. Low number was 13. We added it, it became 46. Low number was 14. We added it, it became 60. And we kept doing that all the way through 17. And when low number became 18, the program then stopped. And then you can see at the very bottom, if I can get this to shrink down a bit, it says the sum between your two numbers is 108. So again, you can take these out then if you don't want them once you see what they're doing. Remember here, this was where we added the current low number to the running sum. And this number right here is where we increment our low number by 1. So this is where we want to keep adding it, eventually popping us out of the loop once it's higher than that highest number. So this is the first program we're going to make together, just so you can see really how loops can really help us. Imagine if we tried to calculate this without a loop. It would be a lot of code and it would be fairly complicated to do.